Alright, so good morning. Welcome back to One Sober to Another. I'm Wayne, and today's video is simply a small discussion on why you subscribe to my channel. It's very easy to think that just because I'm sober that I got it all figured out. Well, I definitely don't. Many times, every single day, I have a large fear of people, which is why I do this channel in the first place. Pause. It's very easy to think by looking at somebody who is finally sober, finally doing the right thing, living a life of quality, that they got it all figured out. Couldn't be further from the truth. It's a daily progress and a daily struggle in order to, well, not so much a struggle, but practice in order to live in sobriety and to find the joy in things and to change the way I think about things or we think about things. Because an alcoholic or an addict, you know, we get stuck in thinking traps that can either push us all the way back to where we started or by allowing us to see things in a different perspective. The live stream I'm doing this weekend is all about coming back from being damaged and not broken, of course, to getting repaired in life, to repairing the wrongs that we have done, to making amends in certain ways that we wouldn't have done before when we were drinking or using, because that's just not the nature of an alcoholic or an addict. I mean, our nature is complete selfishness and self-centeredness. The only reason I'm shooting this video this morning is because I find that in order for you to want to subscribe to this channel, you got to know a little bit about why I'm doing what I'm doing. In no way, shape, or form is this a selfish event in my life. It's actually different. It's a chapter that I'm trying to move forward in order to help other people to either achieve sobriety or to maybe find a little hope in the dark that they see and see that there is a different way of living. For me, I have a very happy way of living now. As opposed to when I was an active alcoholic, because that was easy. Getting drunk was easy. Dealing with everything in this life is a little bit harder. Putting yourself before other people as an alcoholic and an addict, I can attest because I've seen it before, it's very simple to get locked in self. This channel is all about being outside of yourself and discovering yourself in order to be helpful to other people. You should subscribe to this channel because A, you're watching it because either you want to get sober or you want to stop using or you want to stop drinking, or you're just looking for somebody with a positive aspect and a different way of looking at life. That's what this channel is all about. I am the secondary thing in this. So, yeah, I mean, with everything going on, it's very simple to dive into a bottle. It's very simple to blame racism on why you're drinking or using. It's very simple to look at the global climate and say, well, why not? Why am I going to stay sober? Well, for me, you know, it was my family. I mean, I have a son, he's almost 16, and I have a wife. And with that came the father and mother-in-law. I already damaged and broke my immediate family, my brothers, my sisters. Some of them are coming around and they've accepted my amends. Even my mother, I rarely speak to her. Matter of fact, I don't speak to her. I broke all those channels. The channels I do have left are my son and my wife. I mean, it's them. It's for them. And my sobriety is actually for you. So, why should you subscribe? I don't know. I'm sober for 4 years. I mess around with cars. I have a pretty decent job. I'm retired from the United States Army. And I only made it there because I got sober. Because I found a different way to live. And you can too. You just have to latch on to those who have happiness and joy through not using or drinking and find out how they did it. My channel is all about showing you my experience, strength, and hope so that way you have the same opportunity I do. I don't know how else to put it. You can do whatever you want. You can live however you want. But there are better ways to living if you're locked in an addiction. My alcoholism started way before my first drink. It started way before my first party. It started at childhood, which, I mean, you can click the card above and you can see exactly what went on in my childhood. So you get a better understanding of what I mean by that. The way we think about things and process things is directly related to the way we respond to them. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. And that's how it happens. For me, that's how my alcoholism happened. Yeah. So living in this disease is hard to explain to people who've never experienced it. I mean, I guarantee if you look around left and right, somebody in your family and or your chain has experienced alcoholism or addiction. And perhaps you couldn't save them because only an alcoholic or an addict can save themselves by saying, I've had enough. They have to have the desire to stop drinking or using. But so my alcoholism started way before the first drink. And it just skyrocketed from actually having that first taste. I'll go into that a little bit more over the weekend on my live stream, Damaged but Not Broken, because you can't repair something that's broken, but you can definitely do a little bit with things that are damaged. I mean, I've done it to cars. You can certainly do it with the way you think about things and the way you process things. And that's how, for me, I found my way to sobriety, is I had to change the way I was living. And I've said it before, but the people, places, and things in my life weren't positive for me. They were feeding my alcoholism. You know, and right now with everything the way it is, I've experienced racism on a level that I've never experienced it before. I was in the Army for 20 years and I had never, ever experienced racism the way I do now. And by that, I mean, when I get certain customers in the store, they're judging me from the moment they walk up to me. And it's simply because of the way the media has portrayed race division in the United States and around the world, and also because maybe they've experienced racism directly and that's how they're going to respond in life now, unless the way of thinking changes. And that goes on both sides of the fence. Nobody's left out of this equation. But it's rough. It's really rough. I've never had to deal with like cold shoulders and looks that I've never received before. I certainly don't think I deserve them. I say that because that could also feed into the need for someone to drink or the need for someone to use is maybe at that point they feel vulnerable, they feel changed, and they feel judged without a valid point to it. And so that would impose an insecurity that would, lead to a drinker or to a rig or something like that. Along with the rest of the global climate, I mean, it makes it hard to adjust to the changes. And that's one of the biggest things for an alcoholic or an addict is once there's a life-altering event, there's only two ways to go. You either go back to what you were doing, or you persevere and you find a better positive way to go about living your life. I'm actually deeply sad right now because of the way the world is. My son has to grow up in it. My wife, she has to work in it and everything else, and all of you have to also deal with it. The social and economic impacts directly to a lot of you, as well as to myself and to a few others that I know that are directly impacted through healthcare and through job employment and all that. Life's a beach right now. It makes it rough, but I'm here to tell you, for me, sobriety is the key to my success, because if I wasn't sober right now, I'm pretty damn certain that I'd be in the bottom of a bottle, feeling sorry for myself and unable to see a different way out. For me, that almost led to killing myself. It almost led to jail time. And it definitely almost led to me not being able to retire from the Army. So what I'm saying with all this is I want to help you find a better way to deal with your things and to process and to be positive and see that there is a different way to solve your problems other than in the bottom of a bottle or at the end of a needle, or however you are dealing with and coping with the changes in the world. That's why you should subscribe to my channel. Not because I have this super cool mug, one sober to another. I'm pretty sure most of you have turned this off by now, but for those who haven't, look, I've got links in the description for Alcoholics Anonymous, suicide hotline. I'm even going to try to put one in there for financial assistance and or the unemployment office in the United States as well as overseas. And also, if you want a cool mug like I have, there's a link in the description for my merchandise on Streamlab. That's not a plug, it's just cool. This weekend I'm going to be wearing my cool shirt that I got, and I just look, representing this will tell people a whole lot about you, and maybe it'll give them a little hope as well. For all of you who are thinking about watching the live stream, I say dig in and dive in, because the chat will be where it's at. It's going to be worth it. One sober to another. You guys stay safe, stay well, stay positive, and life has a better lining for you. One sober to another. I'm out.